Well, we'll start it out with this. The big news surrounding college football, at least in regards to player movement right now, is that Jordan Addison, arguably the best wide receiver in college football, in a sense, officially, he is the Biletnikoff Award winner. 100 catches, 1,600 yards, 17 touchdowns. There's been much speculation about him possibly entering the transfer portal, and this has been going on for weeks. Well, he finally made his decision official, did enter the transfer portal. There's much speculation regarding a number of schools. USC, I believe, out in front. Is there a Miami component possibly involved?
Yeah, I mean, it's really pretty much all the big boys in terms of two kind of categories. One, on field, two, NIL, name, image, and likeness compensation for players, which, again, people are conflating things. This is not the same as the bag man, who, for example, because I have this confirmed from a journalist friend of mine, Alabama one time sent two guys to a diner off of some rural route. They ordered a cup of coffee and left a briefcase with like $40,000. And they knew that the waitress at the time was the girlfriend's best friend's cousin, sister, down the line of a very well-known player who has gone on to star in the NFL. And that is the bag man game. That is the University of Florida getting a phone call that a player who made the NFL, and I have this confirmed because I know this person's family member who was there at the time, like at the house. Player, and from South Florida, player says, well, I'm really, thinking about maybe going to Miami. I'm thinking about going somewhere else, coach. I said, all right. Coach calls a guy who calls a guy. Not 15 minutes later, somebody drives through the hood, throws a duffel bag onto the porch that had various University of Florida gear and $15,000 cash. That is the bagman game. Name, image, and likeness is not that. Okay, this is a legal sanctioned thing that players can use their name, image, and likeness to make money. And, by advertising, by doing whatever else, by having, the Cam Underwood basketball camp, by, being a pitch man. Look, I saw, what's his name? Armando Bacot from UNC is going to be in Outer Banks, the Netflix series, as a paid actor, right?
Wow.
Yeah. Like, he's on set doing the thing, like, literally right now. He has a role. They have, like, a named character role for him and everything. And that's a thing that he could not do prior to NIL. So just to reset the level on what NIL is, okay? Now, are businesses and collectives run by people who would like to have positive influence on the program? Yeah, whatever. But that is different than the bagman situation, which still does happen, by the way. Anyway, Jordan Addison in the transfer portal from Pittsburgh, considering, or a lot of the chatter, because they're trying to read tea leaves from the outside, Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Miami, USC. I think there were a couple other schools in there. But yeah, Texas, I think, but yeah, big names in terms of demonstrated performance on the field or, compensation potential through NIL. So Miami, I think, of any of these is going to be on the list. In terms of roster construction, I've talked for a long time about Miami needing a number one wide receiver. Jordan Addison would be that. The reigning Biletnikoff winner as a college sophomore for being the best wide receiver in college football. Debate that if you want, but, he's in the conversation for the top three, and he actually won the award. So, yeah, he is in Southern California working out with Bryce Young. Remember, Bryce Young went to Mater Dei. He's the quarterback who's broken that Mater Dei to USC quarterback pipeline, but that is where he currently is. There's pictures on the timeline of Jordan Addison at the Las Vegas airport when he was coming from Pittsburgh out west, also at LAX. And, people have seen him working out with Bryce Young. So, could stand to reason that, he's out there in LA looking at SC. He's also, playing with Alabama starting quarterback. So he's like, hey, like, why don't you come down here? Let's keep this kind of thing going. But yeah, I think that there is a Miami component just from the simple fact that there's a spot for a lead wide receiver. And if you're looking for potential opportunities through name, image, and likeness, Miami is, if not at the very top of the conversation, in that same top three, thing, just like the finalists for the Biletnikoff. So we could see where that might go. I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but I would be here for that because Jordan Addison would bring a level of star power to the wide receiver room that is sorely lacking.